Let us now learn about exception handling. What is exception handling? We had learned a couple of lessons ago that taking care of these unwanted events or exceptions is referred to as exception handling. So, in the previous lesson, we had seen this code and where, because of division by 0, we had gotten an arithmetic exception at line number 5. So, how do we handle it? To handle an exception, we have the concept of try catch in Java. So, what does try catch mean? Statements that can raise exceptions are enclosed within a try block. So, any statements that we think can raise runtime exceptions and we want to handle those exceptions, we will enclose them within a try block. Now, if an exception occurs when the program is being executed or the program is being run, that an exception gets thrown. So, the try block, in the try block at that line, if an exception occurs, it will get thrown, and that exception is then caught in the corresponding catch block, and in the catch block then we can handle the exception as we want to handle it, and then the code flow will continue. So let's look at an example of how we would handle it in the context of the arithmetic exception that we saw. So the first thing we will do is we will enclose them within a try block. So we know line numbers, this int z is equal to x by y, that is where the exception can occur. So we have enclosed it in a try block. So we can see here it's a try block that we have created and in which we have enclosed these two lines. We've also enclosed system.out.println z because it's related to this line. Now once we have enclosed it, we need to have a catch block where we will catch that exception. So this is the catch block we have put in. So here we have catch the exception ex, and what are we doing? We are doing a command known as print stack trace, which will give us details of this exception so that we can use it to debug or figure out more details of our code. So now this is the catch block corresponding to this try block, and what it means that if any exception is thrown in this try block, it will get caught in this catch block. So when we come to line 6 and an exception gets thrown, so the code, instead of going to line 7, so the code will not go to line 7, at line 6 an exception is thrown and the code will jump to line 9, the exception, the catch block corresponding to it. So, and when it jumps to the catch block, it will go to ex.printStackTrace, and this is the stack trace we will get wherein it will print us where the exception occurred. So in this case, line 7 has not been executed and the code jumps from the point the exception happened to the corresponding catch block. We modified this code and we have added this line 12, system.out.println exception handled. So what happens after the catch block is that the normal code execution would start. Hence, after the catch block, the code will come to line 13 and it will start executing. So here, just to repeat, at line 6 we got an exception. So an exception was thrown and the code jumped to the corresponding catch block, which was line 9. So line 7 did not get executed. After line 9 and executing line 10, then normal code execution has started, and hence at line 12 we print exception handled. So this would be the output for the code we have here. Okay.